This is code.org, which is good. We're about to code. We're going to take a look at nesting a loop and using repeats one after another. It sounds complicated. We're going to master it. It's not super complicated. Yep, let's go. This is code.org. Let's see what we're doing. Collect all of the honey and make the nectar. We can do this. So I have one block on my screen. We can use up till 16. I'm going to just start. Let me go to action and let's say move forward. Looks like we'll need 2 move forwards. I really like getting it written out first or blocked out first and then thinking if I need a loop or something like that. So 2 forwards and then it looks like a left turn probably. Turn left. Now if I step, I can always just watch. Yep, move forward. Yep, move forward, turn left. That's looking good. Now I need to get this flower. So how could we do that? Collect honey, make all the nectar. Collect all the honey, collect all the nectar, make all the honey, I would assume it means. It's funny. Actions, get nectar. So on a flower, I'm going to move forward and get nectar because I need to collect all the nectar. And then what? Well, it looks like I'm at honeycomb. And we know now that on that, I'll make honey. Let's see if this works. And it's 1 each step. Forward and get the nectar. Yep, that went to 0. Forward, now I should make honey. Yep, turn left. All right, now what do I want to do? Okay, I'll move forward. I'll get the nectar from a flower. Forward. Make honey on that, and then it looks like a left turn. And code always runs in order, so that's how I'm getting here. Move forward. Now what? Get nectar. Then what? I'll move forward and make honey. Let's try. But we did it. And we did it in 15 blocks. Now let's see though. We've learned about loops. Why not use one? So as long as there's path ahead, repeat so many times, we have a few options here. Well, what if I did one thing I know I could do is repeat however many times. Well, how many sides are here? Let's look for a repeated code. Move forward, get nectar, move forward, make honey, turn left. Move forward, get nectar, move forward, make honey, turn left. Now, what if I added one more left on this final spot? If I put a turn left here, and so way over here at the end I turn left, would it matter? No, that'd be fine. I can turn left at the end. So I could get rid of all of that and break this down to 3. And now, boom. We did an 8. Onward. This is code.org. Let's see what we're doing. Finish this code so that the bee can collect all the honey and the nectar. Ooh, all the honey. Okay, well, what if I hit run? Oh, repeat. So these will never happen. Oh, it gets really confused. Let's see here. Set counter to 2. Repeat 3 times. Oh, this is weird. And then we have a lot of blanks. What could fit in this blank? Oh, what about a number? Okay, why not just throw a number in here? So I wonder what it thinks we're supposed to be figuring out. Interesting. What if we tried to set this at a 2? So I'm already finding this all confusing. I don't like how they did this. So code.org, let's make things better. All right, I want you to understand this. I'm setting this aside, leave it, we can't delete it. Let's just walk through what I would need to have happen first. Before we get into all this complicated stuff, let's move forward, and then how many times? How many squares are here on the edge? Well, that's a 3, right? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now there's some fancy stuff we're going to need to do, right? We'll move forward once, cool. Then what? We'll move forward a second time. Now we're on top of a flower. So what will I need to do? I'll need to get the nectar, right? Flowers have nectar. Now, how many times? Well, it says 2. So I'm going to do 1 get nectar, 2. And they made this seem super confusing, way too fast. 2 get nectars, especially since we haven't been seeing many of these repeat type blocks and then nesting them. It's tricky how they're doing this. Now, let's do a make honey and another make honey, right? And now I want to walk through all this. Step. Oh yeah, move forward. Okay, move forward. Yep, now I'm on top of it. So now I should get 1 nectar, 2. It's now 0. Let me hit step. I'll move forward, and now I should go 1, 2. 2. Yep, and now what? Well, I'm going to want to turn left, right? Yep, turn left, and then what? And I'm just going to keep dragging out these blocks, because it's so much easier to see it like this than all this gobbledygook. Move forward once, move forward twice. Looks like I'm going to get nectar twice. Now, I hope you're already yelling at me. I'll move forward again, and then I'm going to make honey twice. And the reason I hope you're yelling at me is because I'm repeating myself. Okay, then what would we do? We would turn left. Let me hit run, and let me show you what we have so far. So we do get all the way there, but I am already repeating myself. So let me look at this turn left. I'm going to grab right beneath it. See all this? Move forward, nectar, nectar, forward, honey, honey, left. That's all identical. And if we do it one more time, yeah, we would turn left at the very end, but this side is also the same as these others. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and do a loop. And I'll say repeat how many times? 3 times. Now I'm going to drop all of this in here. You should already notice now there are some similarities. Look where our left is. Look at how many times we're looping. Let me hit run. So that will get us to the end, but they wanted us to use the code that we had when we got here. So now what can we do? Well, they're using these inner loop things. So where could I use those? Well, it looks like their first one they're using on forward. Oh yeah, I have 2 forwards. I don't even need to look at this to remake it. It's going to start making sense to me. I have 2 forwards, 2 nectars, 1 forward, 2 honey. 2 forwards, a loop of a nectar, 1 forward, a loop of honey. Let me grab some loops. Okay, so I'm going to grab this stuff outside because I need to move forward here, and we move forward how many times? Twice. Then what? Well, then we wanted to get nectar. How many times? Twice. Then what? Well, then we wanted to make honey. How many times are we making honey? Twice. But actually, what we have before this, we had a 1 move forward. Because we'll be on the nectar, we need to move forward and make honey. Then finally, like we were doing before, turn left at the end. And look, we have something that very much is the code that they have. Their difference is this, set counter to 2. Now we are going to need that. So first let me show you that what we have, I need to put that into 2, works. Now the reason we need counter is instead of writing 2 all of these times, we could use a variable and just use it wherever we need. So instead of writing 2, we can have the word counter mean 2, right? So just like in math, if I see 1 plus x equals 3, oh yeah, x would be 2. And for this, if I see counter equals 2, I can just know then counter actually means a number. So I'm going to get rid of our stuff because it's essentially theirs now. The difference being, instead of using 2 each time, counter is 2. So I can get rid of this, go to my variables, and start dropping in that because it means the same thing. And now, we did it. But it's so much easier to tackle this without trying to rework other. Change the starting value of the variable, and this is why it's really nice. Since now we know, if you missed the last section, it helps a lot to go do it. Make sure you watch my tutorial. Now we know that this value right here, counter, is equal to 2. So every time I say the word counter, I mean 2. Repeat 2 times. The computer sees this, it says repeat 2 times, repeat 2 times, right? It's just like 2 plus x equals 5. Well, if 2 plus x equals 5, x must be 3. Except this time, counter is 2. So all the way down. So the B can collect everything. Let me hit run right now. Oh, you see what's happening? So I move once, I move twice, but how many times do I need to move? Looks like 3 times. So, okay, I'm going to change that to 3. But wait a minute, if I change this to 3, repeat counter times, what if I do 3 nectars? Oh, I'll need 3 nectars. What if I do 3 making honeys? Oh, I'll need that. Well, that's good, because everywhere to counter is, it will be 3 now. That became really easy. But onward. In this puzzle, each patch is one step further away and has one more nectar to get one more honey to make. Add 1 to the variable each time you go through the loop. Add 1 to the variable each time. So they're doing a kind of bad job at this because this is a repeat loop, this is a repeat loop, this is a repeat loop. Or do they mean here in the whole thing? Well, since we're using counter each time here, we want to think about where it would work best. Now, if I add 1 to counter anywhere, it's going to change counter everywhere. So putting it inside one of these smaller repeats could break everything. Let me show you what I mean. And this is really tempting to do. So set counter, let's change counter by +1. So I'm going to go ahead, they said a loop, right? Thanks code.org. I'm going to do exactly what you said and put it right here. So this is going to be an infinite loop because repeat counter times step. Counter just went up by 1. So now I have to do again. So counter always going up by 1 means I'm going to try to keep doing something and error out. However, if I do it way down here or up here, we won't have the same issue. However, if I do it up here, we'll add 1 to counter all the way right away. That's not what we want. So why not doing it here or even after left, maybe the very bottom of our code. Now what should occur, since we're doing it at the very bottom, we'll go once, turn, 2, turn, 3, because counter is going up by 1 each time. Awesome. Onward. This puzzle follows the same pattern, but it's extended to a 4th path. Add 1 to the number of times the main loop repeats to count the pattern. Ooh, I hate how confusing this looks. I want to show you what they're doing. So real quick, I'm going to get rid of this. Don't get rid of it. Leave it. I want to show you what they're trying to tell us. And what they're saying here is the first time I move forward once, I get 1 nectar. Boom. I move forward once again, I get 1 honey. Then I turn left, and now everything's double. I'm going to need to move forward 1, 2, nectar 1 and 2, forward again, honey 1 and 2. So everything was doubled there. So the way you can do it now is using a loop like we're already doing. Boom, boom, boom. Now everything that I'm going to end up doubling, so forward, right? And I move forward once, then twice. I get nectar once, then twice. I only move forward after I get nectar twice each time. So after I get nectar each time, I move forward once. So I only do that once. And then what? I make honey each time, but that changes as well. 1 time I make honey, but over here, twice. Let me get rid of the old stuff. And now, this isn't going to work yet, because I just have a 1 for everything, right? And that's not what we need. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and do set counter 2, and now, with this set to 1, let me grab this back. Now I don't want all these 1, we're using a variable. Okay, and now when I run it with my variable in here, counter is equal to 1. However, I'm going to do a loop. Now if I do a loop, I lost my turn left. If I do a loop, I need counter to go up by 1. So after I turn left the first time, I know all of these counters have to be 2. So how can I do that? Well, notice we're pretty much right here again. How can I do that? I add 1 to counter each time. Oh, all we have to do then, since it's infinitely going to go up, we just need a loop again. What's this Different this time. The last couple of puzzles, you need to change a variable by 1 for each new path. This time, each patch has 2 spaces further and 2 more nectar to get. And 2 more honey. Let's go ahead and see what they mean. Okay. Oh, so if I run this, counters 1, we move forward 1, counters 1, so we'd get nectar once, done with that. Move forward 1, counter still equal to 1, so we drop down, repeat counter times 1 time, we'll make 1 honey, and then we turn left. Then we change counter by 1, so counter's now 2, we'll move forward once, and we hit the bottom after, counter's now 2, zoop, back around, repeat counter times, which is 2 times, we move forward once, we move forward twice, we're done with that, and we have an issue. So instead, if we need to do, instead of having counter be 2 here, it looks like counter should be 3. What if we add 2 to it each time? Then after the first time, counter will be 3. Then it hits here, and counter will be 5. Huh. We did it! Onward. Finish the code to solve the puzzle. What should be the value? We'll have the variable at start. How many times should we go through the main loop? How much should it change each time? Okay, so we have counter, it's not equal to anything. So I'm going to go ahead and set it equal to 1. And now there's no number here at all. So I'm just going to throw a number in there. And the nice thing with code, guys, is you can always be wrong. I'm going to assume since there's 3 sides here, this should be a 3. Now down here they have counter changing. Huh. Well, actually, I might change it by 1. Now, before I do all this, let me look here. It looks like the first time we would want counter to be 2 because we have 2 flowers and 2 honey. Let me hit step. Okay, so repeat 3 times. Here we go. Repeat counter times. This is the 2, so I move forward once. I should zoop, hit the bottom of this, zoop back around because everything in this pink mouth thing should happen twice. Yep, that's 2 times I move forward. Now I'm going to hit this. Repeat counter times. I should get nectar once. Yep. And now I should get nectar 1 more time because we hit the bottom of this inner pink mouth. Zoop, back around. Great. Now I'll go beneath and move forward once. Now I'm going to hit this repeat. Counter is still equal to 2. So twice. I'll make honey once. Hit the bottom. Yep, once. And now this is the second time. Yep, and now it will fall below and I'll turn left. Then what happens? I'm going to change counter. So now counter is 3, right? Because it was 2, it's now 3. So I'll go forward once, twice, 3 times. Wait a minute, I'm not there yet. Oh, wait a minute. 2, 4, 6. What if we go up by 2 each time? We did it! Onward. Practice. I'll do one of these now, and then make sure if you need to see more of them, check out my video where I walk through each. I'll do A for now, though. Create your own code to solve this puzzle. I have 1 block on my screen. I can use up to 24. I really like this because I'm going to start with no loops. I'm just going to start throwing code down. Move forward once, move forward twice will get me to the edge at least, right? And now what I would turn right. Okay, and then I'm going to move forward 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this isn't all, I need to get this stuff still, but I'm just kind of getting an idea of what it looks like. And then I would turn right again. Okay. Now let's step up. I need to get nectar here. So actions, 1 step, get nectar. Now if I step again, it looks like I need to make honey. Make honey. Then what? Turn right. Okay, so that looks good. Turn right. And then I move forward once, twice, and then I'll be on the flower. So what would I do? I need to get nectar once, twice. Then what? I'll move forward twice and I'll be on the honey, so I need to. Okay. Then what? I'll move forward 3 times, it looks like, after I turn right. And get nectar 3 times. I'm just going to keep going here. So that should get me to here if we're doing this right. Yep, and then what? Move forward once, twice, 3 times, and make honey 3 times. I hope you're yelling at me, because this is not a good way to do it. Okay, I'm at 27 blocks. My goodness. So, let's look for patterns here. Every time I turn right, I'm going to a new side. So I'm suspicious starting at a turn right. turn right here, and then turn right. So I broke them underneath the turn rights. Now, let's see. Move forward, get nectar. 2 move forwards, 2 get nectars. Move forward, 2 move forwards, make honey. 2 make honeys. Turn right. Yep. And notice 1 move forward, 2 move forward, 3 move forward. 1 get nectar, 2 get nectar, 3 get nectar. Right? So this is really good chance to use loops. So I'm going to head over here and do repeat 1 times. And we want to use a loop with a variable, right? So repeat 1 time, repeat 1 time, repeat 1 time, repeat 1 time. The reason is, well, look at this. Move forward, get nectar, move forward, make honey. The only thing not in a loop would be turn right. And I can use this for my loops. Move forward, get nectar, move forward, make honey. Cool. And I can drop that here. So that is good, but this will only get us through one side thus far. So what if I want to get to all 3 sides? Well, then I would need another loop, right? And if I want that, let's do how about repeat 3 times. So 3 sides, 3 times. Oh, we had an extra one of those. Great. And now this is all going to work, but it's still, we're not changing anything. We're only doing it 1 time, right? We're going once, and then we're going to have a problem because all of these only happen 1 time. We get back around. That's a problem. This is where we want a variable. Let's set counter to 1 at first, just like we have it here, because that first row is 1. Except now we need counter. And now each time we go around, right? Each time we go around, we want to increase by 1. So let's at the very bottom, before we go back around, we'd want to increase to 2 and then to 3, change counter by 1. This all looks good. Let's try. Victory! Onward. And no challenges. Awesome.